Hey, welcome to We Should Start a Podcast. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about Ant-Man,
Cocaine Bear,
the whale.
I could go for
Maybe
the
The Last of Us. Stick around; it's gonna be fun.
Last of Us.
There's a list of a Last
More like
of Us.
the Lesb of Us. If you watched last night's episode,
All right, roll the intro.
Come on.
You'd be like, man, I just blew $20 or
Unless
$50
it was the Eternals
or whatever.
Right.
It wasn't the Eternals. I was a little confused the whole movie because he can shrink himself, and the whole movie is basically a one long chase. It's like, dude, just shrink and hide.
Yeah.
So I was a little lost in that.
So I have something for that, but my knee jerk on Ant-Man, I liked it. I thought it was good. My thing is it's not the Avengers, it's not Iron Man, it's not Captain America. It's a lesser, and no joke intended, it's a smaller character in the Marvel universe. So I think it needs to make like $700 million to probably warrant a fourth one, because it had a pretty significant drop this weekend in sales. I know it had like a 69% drop. Whatever, it's funny still. The 8-year-old, no, I was probably 12. The 13-year-old in me in Spanish class will always think 69 is the funniest thing to say and get away with the normal conversation. That's what she said. So here, Ant-Man, good.
I enjoyed it. I'm not trying to.
I don't understand why I got
too much.
48% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know what those guys. Those guys are jackasses.
It's so stupid anyway. When Dave Chappelle gets a 0 on his stuff,
yeah.
But then anyway, Rotten Tomatoes.
I didn't think it was that. I didn't think it was great, but I thought it was a solid because the way I view the Ant-Man movies and the way I view like the stuff that's on the Marvel or Disney Plus, like these are just little things to get us by till we get to another giant Avengers movie.
Do you think there will be another giant Avenger movie ever again? Do you think they'll ever be able to get back?
Well, they've gotten to this
Avengers?
habit. They've gotten to this habit now of at the end of every Marvel movie, you wait for the entire credits for somebody random to show up and be like, "Hey, I'm here," and then it cuts. Yeah, it cuts to black, and then you don't hear about that thing ever.
You know when
again.
the last time I watched one of those was? Like 8 years ago.
No, the behind the after the credits.
Yeah, like I mean, I'll watch it at home or on YouTube, but like at a theater,
Yeah.
credits roll, I'm out. I'm not waiting for it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just my disrespect for the industry. My apologies.
I mean, I think it's good. It's fine. I think people. Here's what's weird is Taka, the guy who did the last two Thor movies.
Yeah.
So with Ragnarok, he saved the franchise. But somehow, with the other one, the new Thor 4,
God of Thor,
Love and Thunder, he somehow has killed the MCU, because it seems like they have not had a solid break since that Thor movie got kind of mid reviews. You know what I mean?
I thought
I liked it.
I thought Love and Thunder, if that was called.
Yeah.
I thought that was better than Quantum Menace or whatever it's called.
See, I liked Quantumania better.
Quantumania.
Yeah.
Going back to what you were saying about Ant-Man being a lesser character, I think Paul Rudd is an amazing casting for such a BD character, because I think he has a sense of humor to be able to carry that.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I enjoyed it. I will steal your line, but I will credit to you, is if it's the Ant-Man, just do what they did in The Boys.
Yeah, jump up his butt and explode. That's what or his pee hole.
Or his ear.
That's
or
my
his
whole
nostril.
thing. That's my whole problem with the thing in general is like, uh-oh, guys, Thanos. Like, here he is. Hey, Ant-Man, why don't you jump up his pee hole and then explode?
Right.
How bad do you want
it? So he'll like, as soon as we start talking about pee holes.
No. Oh, wait, is that a thing?
Know. Someone say pee hole.
Well, I don't want to say it if it's going to get us in trouble. Is it the thing?
No, you're good.
Okay. My thing, how bad do you want to win?
Yeah.
That's all they need to do is say, hey, Ant-Man, go save this for us.
You don't have to get, like...
There's a billion other ways that all those other superheroes...
Like, if you're Ant-Man, like, to get to the pee hole or the boo hole... The boo hole?
Boo hole?
You're going to have to, like, navigate through, like clothing. Or just go up the nose or in the ear canal. Like, there's easier ways to get in there.
No, it's got to be through the pee
fingernail.
hole, the bee hole.
Ooh, no, that's too far. That's offensive right there.
Fingernail?
Ooh.
That would hurt.
That just blew off a finger.
So, basically, Ant-Man is okay. I'm excited about everything that's happened. Kang was scary, but here's the thing.
No, before you.
Okay.
I thought the actor that played Kang was amazing. I've never seen him act before.
What is y'all's deal?
I thought he was great. What are you talking about?
Cool. He was a buff dude that yelled a lot. Like I didn't think
the acting in it.
I don't know. I mean, like I did a weird thing with my voice.
For a Marvel movie, I thought he did really good acting.
See, that's the problem I'm having lately with the Marvel. I guess that's the whole. If we are going to talk about it for a second, and then we got to move on.
Let's get there.
My thing is, I don't know why all of a sudden it's like for Marvel, because they used to have Robert Downey Jr. These used to. Like, I watched the Avengers after I watched Quantum Mania. I watched Endgame again, and I will say there has been a huge slide in the quality of these movies, because like
but do you think
Endgame was epic, and then everything like only.
Who's writing these things?
I think they're cranking them out as fast as they can.
I agree with
I
that
think
too.
I think they had the A team for the first little, the first phase, but this last phase of movies hasn't been that great. I mean, we got
I thought the
as a whole. I still love them. I'll still go
about-
see all of them. I mean, don't get me
Well,
wrong. I'm a
like-
junkie. I will watch anything Marvel makes except for the Eternals too. But like,
They're doing it too.
I don't think so.
Okay.
The first one was so bad. But like, I will watch every Marvel project. I just, if I'm gonna be, I love what you say, where you're like, would you rather have something to have or nothing at all?
Right. That's
like,
that's
I would
my
way
criticism.
rather have Marvel make. If they made 100 more movies like Ant-Man, I'm here for them.
Well, that's my biggest criticism against like Star Wars fans.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like, oh, there's only 3 and everything else doesn't exist. Like,
not
okay, then just
canon.
don't watch it.
don't watch it.
Yeah, but like, but going back to Marvel and talking about like Black Panther 2 or 3, I don't know what number it was, but the one where he was no longer, the actor was no longer living in it.
Chadwick
Boseman. And I thought they did an amazing
I loved it.
Act 1 of being able to connect the old franchise with the new franchise with a plausible exit for that character and that human.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie, though,
Kind of blasé.
it was kind of like, okay, your biggest enemy is in the water. Why get on a big ass boat and go in the water? Let them come to you.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I think my thing, like, so Endgame was an amazing movie. In my opinion, like, there's something so powerful about why I'm such a cheeseball now, but like when I watched it now, watching the part where they all come back through the portals at the end to fight, and you see Captain America just like, oh my God. Yeah. Dude, that's so badass. Like, that's the coolest scene in movies. Like, it's just so
What's funny,
badass.
though, is in this podcast or in this conversation, we're gonna go from you saying that is so badass and amazing and acting or whatever, and then go to like Brendan Fraser and The Whale, where it's like his best work of all time.
I have some opinions on that too. Okay, but I will say, so I think we can agree that Marvel was awesome, and it's been awesome, and it's a fun thing. It's great, but there is definitely the one thing that I always say is numbers don't lie in all things, and there is definitely a couple things that the latest Ant-Man installment shown us. So one, it made the most money out of all of them opening weekend. So everyone was excited. Yeah, it was the most of an Ant-Man movie.
Okay.
Highest grossing week of an Ant-Man movie. They made 120 over the 4-day weekend, which is pretty good. I think they were all very excited about that. But this week, there's been a 69% drop.
But do you think that's the movie, or is that just how we are when it comes to movies nowadays?
Well, that's my question. My question for you is that drop based on, there's a couple factors here too. So Evangeline Lilly, is that her name?
Okay.
She plays the Wasp in the franchise and the Avengers.
Lost, yeah.
Yeah.
Kate from Lost.
Kate from Lost.
Yeah.
Which that's so funny because Paul Rudd loves Lost. So that's another inside joke. I get it. But like, she said some kind of controversial things during the,
I have no.
I'm wondering,
What did she say?
the thing is, I'm not really sure anymore what anybody says that's controversial because there's so many headlines about the fact that they've said something.
Right.
There's very little attention given to what it is they've actually
But
said.
the thing is, though, like, because I don't know if that has anything to do with the movie itself.
It would affect it on weekend one, right? Not
the
weekend
thing,
two.
Well, the thing I was going to say, though, is I think nowadays we live in a culture where if you say something controversial, that whoever you're offending, the opposite group who agrees with you will come out and force to support. So, and again, I have no clue what she said or what the controversy is.
It was something about the
whatsoever.
Apparently, she was, just for context, involved in some capacity in an anti-vax protest rally.
That's what it was.
I mean, I think if it made bigger news, I think a lot of like red-blooded American
Probably would have
Republican anti-vax crew would have
shown up and shown out. Yeah.
But again, though, I don't think. But even that saying it's anti-vax, is it anti-vax or is it anti-COVID vax? I think those get.
Do you think? Okay, so more likely then, it's like you said. That's just the way we are with movies.
I think.
Do you think
streaming devices when you have like? I mean, I pay for like 10 different streaming channels.
Well, like
and watch like 2 a month.
I have zero inspiration to go see A Knock at the Cabin in theaters because I could watch it on Prime.
I don't know what that is.
A Knock at it's a new movie. It's an M. Night movie that just came out.
Well, I wouldn't, yeah.
So like, it just came out and it's only been out for 2 weeks, but it's now streaming. It's like, why would I go to the theater where I can watch it from home?
The problem with movies in general, in my opinion now, is back in the day you had the huge studio thing where you spend, let's just say $100 million on a movie, 80, 90 of it goes to make the movie, and then the 10 to 20 goes to market the movie. It seems like now, to have any kind of footprint whatsoever, if you have a $200 million movie, you also have a $200 to $300 million marketing budget. That because it goes back to Avatar, where they had to make $2 billion back, but the movie only cost like $200 million to make. So it's like, where's the math here?
Yeah,
and that's all in the marketing.
I still don't really understand the math of the Avatar thing, how it had to make that much to be, but it's fine.
It doesn't matter.
But what's really weird is try meeting somebody else that's seen it. Like I've talked to a lot of people that haven't seen the new one, and I'm just like,
I think they waited too long.
Yeah. Well, okay, so there's been a big decline in the Marvel. I don't think there's a decline in the fandom. I think what hurt Marvel this week, like because of the 69% drop, I think is Cocaine Bear. Speaking of marketing, I think because Cocaine Bear.
Wait, time out.
I think Cocaine Bear surprised everybody.
Let me interrupt your thought. You think Cocaine Bear took viewership from a Marvel movie?
100%.
Not in your life. There's
you don't think so?
chance. There's no chance.
No, wait.
That's like saying
I agree with you, Donovan.
I think Cocaine Bear plus the 48% Rotten Tomatoes score took viewership from the Marvel movie. I think word of mouth was probably good on Ant-Man, and the fan score was high, but it got low score on Rotten Tomatoes. So I think because of that, and the fact that Cocaine Bear got like a high score on Rotten Tomatoes, which it has no business.
But I don't think it's the same Avatar.
Yeah.
What? You know, I don't think it's the same Avatar. The people that are watching,
the same
Cocaine Bear and Ant-Man, two different groups. Because like, would you take your kids to Ant-Man?
Well, yeah.
Would you take your kids to Cocaine Bear?
No.
But you?
I might go get a babysitter and go see Cocaine Bear instead of taking my kids to Ant-Man.
I think
what did Cocaine Bear do over the weekend? I think it did well. I think it did more than it was projected
to. But the thing is, though, when I saw Ant-Man, it was in a much larger theater.
Oh, it was
and when I saw Cocaine Bear, it was in the smallest theater in the theater.
True.
On a opening weekend.
What did Cocaine Bear do? What did they say?
23
million. What did Ant-Man do? Also, who's in charge of Marvel's PR? Because they used to like pay to cover up these kind of things, like to where it wasn't a headline. 69% drop. They used to pay for Rotten Tomato scores too, because there's no way that
Ant-Man had a $106 million opening, but I'm guessing that was a week or two before.
Yeah,
right. And what's
so they
60%?
dropped 69%.
Yeah, but they're still doing $80 million. Whatever. What if that's? What does it say?
60% drop 69 from 106.
So what's 40%? Or what's 30% of 200? That's still 60 million. Roundabout numbers.
I mean, it's still
a hit. That's still twice as large as.
It's still a hit. But what makes me nervous is so like when movies like, and this would be the impossibly difficult part about being in charge of the Marvel universe, other than the fact of just, wow, that's a daunting task. The thing that would be the most difficult aspect would be to have all the home runs, like, right, all the in-game, all the things, and then have a couple that don't do so well, and then now all of a sudden the whole MCU is in question.
But I think you're looking at it myopically. You have to look at it through the big lens of all of it together. Because if you look at it like cumulative, because that's how I look at YouTube as well. Like if I have a video that does a view and I have one video that does 10 views, well, together that's 5 and 5. Or if I have, and that's just how I look at it. You can't look at it, oh, we have so many defeats. It's like you got to average the plane out. So with Marvel, with Disney, they average of course they're winning. They're killing it.
So what do you think about? So now that we've
But before we move on, but going back to the Ant-Man versus Cocaine Bear, Ant-Man, just to reiterate, is that there's a much lower common denominator of who that movie's going to appeal to, whereas Cocaine Bear is a much like they're idiots like you, me, and Sohail,
right?
Like who think it's fun when attractive women get brutally murdered within 5 seconds of the movie starting.
Do not put me in that.
Yeah.
What?
So
I'm not saying that I want to see somebody murdered. I'm saying if you're going to watch Ant-Man, you're not necessarily going to watch a giant bear ravage an entire town.
I think the Venn diagram, there is an overlap. There are adults who just watch every blockbuster, but what Ryan's saying is true. I would never watch a Marvel movie.
But you would watch.
You haven't watched a Marvel movie? You've never watched
I've seen the first 2 Iron Mans and Avengers, the one where he snaps. Is that Endgame?
Oh my god.
But I didn't watch anything in between.
Just stop. You know what? So, well, never. I don't want to get into it, but I'm just,
I didn't watch anything in between, so that shit was confusing.
I could see that without.
And also just bad.
Oh. Well, he's our hero. So, well, okay. So, Cocaine Bear, did you like it? What'd you think?
Okay, so Cocaine Bear, I thought it had an amazing trailer. Like when I first saw the trailer, I was like, I am down for that. Mm-hmm. It's so silly, it's so stupid, and I'm a huge fan of Elizabeth Banks. I think she's great. I love her as an actress, and I'm here to support her any way I can. The trailer was one of the most creative, inventive news stories that we've seen in a long time. The movie itself, overall, I was entertained. The problem, though, I was at Alamo Drafthouse, which supposedly kicks out people for being distracting, and you're not supposed to do this. So there was beside me, there was this couple that were talking the entire movie, and then behind me, there was people that were laughing. I could forgive the laughing because you laugh at what entertains you, but they were it was almost like they had never been out of their house before, and every little thing was so. They were laughing at trailers and the pre-roll of whatever goes before the trailers.
The pre-roll.
It was just they were like, somebody's dying. But it was funny because the way it was shot was, I don't think it was shot as a comedy. It was more. I mean, there was comedic elements, but there was a lot of moments that were just seriously more like horror film. Mm. And the people behind me were just laughing and I'm just like, that's not cool that person just died. I think we need the police here and mental help for these guys behind me.
I think the tone of the movie, so I watched it, right? I saw it yesterday.
Say what you're going to say earlier.
No, I meant it.
What would make it better?
Well, here's the deal. So the tone of the movie, I think, was definitely influenced by the score, and the score was done by Mark Mothersbaugh.
I didn't even notice a score.
So, Mark Mothersbaugh is the co-founder, one of the founders of Devo. Mm-hmm. Devo did Whip It. Whip It Good.
What's funny?
They do all the music for Disenchantment.
But what's funny, you bringing that up is I
didn't even notice it.
I did not notice a score at all. But now that I'm thinking about score in particular, anytime there's a Hans Zimmer movie, it's a Hans Zimmer movie.
Oh, 100%.
But this movie, it did not even register my brain.
Well, this movie licensed a bunch of stuff. It had a bunch of 70s songs and 80s songs that were pretty, it was 70s and 80s, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was 70s and 80s tunes that were pretty, popular. But the overall music, when they were going through the woods and stuff, it was very, 80s bingey. It felt like a bingey movie.
Well, the thing is, it's supposed to be a timepiece.
Yeah.
So getting the Whip It guy is obvious.
He's badass, man. He used to be on. He used to go on. Yo Gabba Gabba, and he would teach kids how to draw. He's cool. He's a cool guy.
I'm surprised they didn't get that one dude to do the shit. You know?
Who?
Oh, you don't know that? So the detective character, like in every, because he was on The Wire, and like he's been in a couple series, and that's like his catchphrase.
Oh, is it?
You know, like, I'll be back for Arnold. Like his catchphrase is shit.
Really?
Yeah, and they didn't use it.
I thought it was funny that they used Perry Mason for like 5 minutes or 5 seconds.
I don't remember it.
So the guy from The Americans who's married to Carrie Russell. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
And what's
at
funny,
the very beginning,
what's funny too is the park ranger was their contact on Americans. Remember? And did you ever watch Americans?
I didn't.
It's a killer show.
But what's funny is the park ranger. She's like one of the like truly one of the best actresses of our time that people don't know she exists.
She's a famous character actor. She's great in everything she's in.
Everything.
But you never think about her because she just feels like that person.
Because she's not Meryl Streep.
Yeah. No, she's fantastic.
She's
but
amazing,
like, I thought, I thought it was fun. I thought it was silly. I thought, how do you
feel like Ray? That's like Ray Liotta's.
I hate that
going
that's
out.
his last
that's
movie.
his going out movie.
I hate that that's the last thing that he's gonna be known for. I wished it would have been. I don't know. He looked.
Okay.
It was the most like Ray Liotta he's ever looked.
I had no idea he was in it.
He's got long, crazy hair, and it's like this gross pea blonde color.
He gives me who's the wrestler guy?
Mickey Rourke vibes.
He gives me Mickey Rourke vibes.
Yeah. So with Cocaine Bear, big deal made about Elizabeth Banks directing it. So she's done. I think she did the Pitch Perfect movies. I think that's what she's kind of known for.
I don't know if she may have made 2 and 3, but I think she was just in one.
She's only in one, and then she directed the other ones.
I mean, she may be in all 3, but I'm just saying the first one I know she was just an actress. I think she was primarily an actress. She might have been a producer, but I think in the other ones that she took a more managerial role.
And then what else has she directed? She's done something else besides.
I don't know.
I think Cocaine. Like, I think it was fun. There was some weird. So there's some weird elements of it where I had to go, okay, maybe that was just a creative choice. Like, because there was some pacing that I thought was odd.
Like the
cutaways were weird to me.
The kids, like, I appreciate the girl character because she wasn't in half the movie.
Yeah.
The boy character, I don't like how Hollywood tries to make kids so precocious.
Yeah. Well, gee whiz. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Or like, yeah, but I did appreciate how she had them eat cocaine.
I thought that was funny.
I was like, oh, that's a bold move.
I laughed when he was like, "There's a drip in the back of my throat. Is that normal?" It's like,
I thought Carrie Russell did amazing. I mean, she played the part. She did great.
It felt to me like it was a bunch of people that really like Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
That were like, "Hey, you're our friend, so we're gonna do this for you." Like, that's how it felt for me, and it felt like Alden Ehrenreich or whatever, the guy who played Ray Liotta's kid.
Okay.
He was Han Solo in the failed Star Wars movie.
Was he?
And no one has touched him with a 10-foot pole since. So the fact that he had kind of a lead role in this and he was not on any posters or anything, and the fact that
it's kind of hard to be on a poster when it's Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, and but he was not involved in the marketing, and the fact that Ray Liotta, who's kind of like a way past his prime at that point, he's gone now, but Ray Liotta has kind of gone the route of Nick Cage, where it was like, hey, I'll just make whatever shitty movie they offer me. Right. So him, apart from Carrie Russell and the other guy who's only in it for a minute.
Well, Ice Cube's kid.
Ice Cube's kid's good, but Ice Cube's kid's good at playing.
Good.
Ice Cube's kid plays one character and everything, very similar to Ice Cube.
Right.
Like, it's like, hey, this is my character. This is who I am. This is how I play it.
Right.
It's that way. It's kind of funny. I'm kind of the funny, like, he always plays
overall, though.
Overall, I thought that, cutaways were weird. I thought the pacing was odd. There was a scene where you could tell that again, I'm not going to say what I said earlier, but you could tell that it was one of those things where, well, if you'd done that, then it wouldn't be like that. There was some weird, like, I'm sure it was all done by design, and it was all creative. But I guess it would have been interesting if I'm gonna say it. It would have been interesting to see. I don't know. It was okay. It was all right. It was all right.
Wave off.
Yeah.
Wave off.
Alone.
No,
yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself. I laughed.
One thing I will point out that I thought was well done is the CGI in it for the bear. And the only reason I would say I think it was well done is like it's obviously a cartoon bear.
Yeah.
But compared to like the trailers that I'm seeing for the new Indiana Jones, where the CGI for that is just horrible, you know, so it's like,
does it look bad?
That's horrible.
What part looks bad? The horse riding part,
where he's like on a motorcycle, where he's like young. I mean, half the trailer.
Can I ask you this? Are you? Because I was looking at. I watched 1923. Do you watch 1923?
I haven't seen it yet, no.
Okay, so 1883. I loved 1883 because that girl was beautiful and just amazing, and the way she talked. I fell in love with that character. I was like, God, you're amazing. So I loved that show. 1923 is sort of the unofficial sequel. Harrison Ford's in it. Helen Mirren. The cast is loaded, and it looks. Every episode's like a movie, dude. I mean, Taylor Sheridan got whatever he wanted, basically. And Harrison Ford's in it, and he plays like a cowboy, and he's doing cowboy stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching it, going, man, he's like still kicking. Like he could still. He was a
stunt man or something when he first started.
Well, he can still very real, like you feel very much like, oh yeah, he's fully capable of. It doesn't look like there's much trickery going on.
Every time I see that, I'm annoyed because I'm like, I know I couldn't do what he's doing right now, and he's like 80.
And
he's like 102 years old.
He is like 80 years old. He really is 80 years old.
It's like your grandfather.
And he's doing, and you know what's weird? Liam Neeson's 71. Think about that.
Can't talk about Liam if you clearly haven't seen the comments of our channel, because anytime we talk about Liam Neeson, they come after us.
Why? Because he was Oscar Schindler.
We were talking about shit. We were talking a little crap.
Oh well,
because he's Liam Neeson.
I got more crap to talk about Liam Neeson in a second.
Okay,
but
let's stick to Cocaine Bear.
Stick to Cocaine Bear. Okay,
is that what we're on?
I like the marketing. I like the branding. I thought it was funny. There was some cutaways that didn't make any sense to me.
What do you mean by cutaways?
Okay, so there was one cutaway that was funny that I laughed at, but it was so dark and so.
Which one was it?
Weirdly in the middle. It was when the guy goes, "Yeah, that's where I met my best friends. We're gonna move to New York together." And then it cuts away to his friends holding their heads.
Yeah, that was weird because
I thought
that was the only one they did of that.
Well, there was two, and it was.
What was the other one?
So the other one, which made it again, I was just kind of like, why? We didn't need that. Is when they go in the cave, and spoilers, by the way, if you haven't. First off, it's Cocaine Bear, so if you get upset that I spoiled it for you, then
the bear eats cocaine.
Yeah, fuck all the way off because there's nothing to give away. It is what it is. We're gonna have to bleep that F word, but it's fine. So when they go in the cave, and the German guy or the Swedish guy who kind of told him, you hear him screaming out there. He's like, "Oh no, it's to the bear," or whatever.
He was from Game of Thrones, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So then
you're like, okay.
It cuts to the other guys walking into the cave, and they're like, "Hey, you saw what it did to that hiker," and it did that random cutaway of him falling and seeing the hiker.
Yeah.
So what this all tells me, what all of this tells me, is that they shot a whole bunch of things, and then when they got done, they're like, "Okay, how do we piece a movie together out of what we shot?" You know, how do we piece a movie together that's funny? They probably shot 20 different bits and then only used a couple of them. I think that bit with the hiker, that was probably a scene that the director thought was funny, and she added in. Because if you stayed, again, after the credits, there's like 4 scenes.
No, I didn't say.
Okay, so the first scene...
I just established in this podcast with Marvel.
Yeah, you're not a stayer.
I as I was walking, I heard them doing things.
You got a gypsy soul. That's what it is.
The gypsy
soul to blame. You're born for leaving.
Because I'm leaving.
Yeah, so
tell that to my wife. That doesn't exist.
Out in Colorado. Wherever I left her at. No. Okay,
she's still at the rest stop.
So there's this. Yeah, she's waiting for me to come back with milk or whatever. Thanks, Dad.
At the rest stop?
At the rest stop. Oh, yeah. Hey, wait here. I'll be back with milk. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Anyway. That should have given it away that he's not coming back, because why would he come back at the rest stop, let alone with milk?
I don't think this concept
it goes
has legs.
Bad quickly is all I'm saying.
This doesn't have legs.
You don't carry it around in the car.
No.
So
It spoils.
It spoils. I think the end scene part that you need to know about is the guy gets in a car to get a ride to New York, and he's got a bag of cocaine.
Okay.
And he puts it in the bag.
The vagrant guy.
Yeah, the vagrant guy. He puts it in the bag of the back of the truck, and there's a bunch of sheep. And then he gets in,
and there's cocaine sheep.
And then he looks back, and he's like, "Uh-oh, should I?" And then the trailer music comes back on. Then it comes back up, and it's Han Solo and Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And they're sitting. They have that stupid dog. Right?
Okay.
And the dog is eating a bone, and they're like, "Where'd she get the bone?"
It's his finger.
Yeah, it's his finger.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, I wasn't going to use those anyway." And then it cuts. Then it goes again. So this lets me know that I feel like Cocaine Bear was like, hey, it'd be funny to make a movie about Cocaine Bear, and then let's just go and do all these different ideas, and we'll piece a movie together at the end.
I'm not here.
No.
He's like, I like my creative lighting. We're going to have it creative, and we're going to create it creatively.
I like seeing myself, but that's because I'm vapid.
In vain.
And vain.
Vapid in vain.
Vapid in vain.
Was it? So I would be okay. I would be okay watching a cocaine sheep movie.
I think I'm done with the cocaine animals as a story. I thought this was.
What
it was kind of okay.
Cocaine
Do you remember?
In general.
Well, I mean, it's a hell of a drug. No, do you remember the? I have a cocaine story.
No.
No, I can tell the story. I'm okay with this story being out there.
Do I remember what?
I'll tell you my cocaine story.
Oh my god! Does it involve a bear?
It does not involve a bear.
All right. Is it 30 seconds or less?
It's not.
A minute and a half.
If you give me 2 minutes, I can get it out. Sometimes less.
Clip it.
Depending.
Clip it. All right. Go.
Okay. So I used to be in a rock band. This isn't important, but on this particular night, I was not playing in this rock band, and I was with my other friend who was in a rock band, and we were going to a bar to meet girls who liked guys that were in rock bands.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to meet this girl that this guy's been talking to online. We get there. This girl's got 2 other girls with her, but also a guy. Now, the guy that's with them is a Chad. And do I need to tell you what a Chad is? Okay. So a Chad is a guy who wears, during this period...
Sweaters?
No. This is a Ramona. I'm dressed like a Ramona today. I feel very... Or Daria. This is a Daria sweater. Or Alanis Morissette sweater. So anyway, they're there. You asked a question. I had to tell you the story.
I'm trying to get you back on pace.
Okay. So Chad is there. Chad has brought blow. I don't really do blow, but I'm willing to because there's women present and I don't want to look like I'm not, like a little bit of powder is going to frighten me.
Yeah, you're hip to the scene.
So we're in this crowded bar where there's a lot of people. And the girls, me and my friend, he goes, hey, man, here, why don't you, throw this away for me? And he hands me this bag. And I go, oh. So I go to the bathroom. I partake, right? A little bit, which was don't do it. It's bad. I don't do it anymore. It's a long time ago.
Especially now. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do anything ever. But like that, anyway, that stuff's stupid. If it's from the ground, it's probably okay, I think. But if you have to grow it in a lab or do whatever they do, I don't know where cocaine comes from, honestly. I was just like, hey, I'll do it.
Coca trees?
Coca trees? Well, we should cut them all down. So
they do.
All right. So I'm in the bathroom. I do it, whatever. I come back. I hand it to the guy. And then my friend, who's not as smart as I am, is right there. And he looks at my friend and he goes, hey, throw this away for me. And my friend takes this bag
and throws it away.
Goes to the bathroom and then comes back. And the guy's like, yeah, we're going to live forever or whatever he's saying. I don't know, Chad. Saying Chad things. He's like, hey, man, so you got my bag. And he's like, no, I threw it away for you. He's like, what? He's like, I threw it away. You told me to throw it away. This guy's like, ugh. And I'm sitting there and I start to notice, although he is a Chad, he seems like the kind of Chad that if he wanted to, he could probably beat both of our asses with his Chad friends or his Chad Charger or, his Chad Glock that he probably had under his ridiculous Affliction shirt. So I was feeling nervous about our circumstances. I said, hey, you got to go to the bathroom and grab it out of the thing. He's like, I don't want to do that by myself. We're a little stoned beforehand, which is why the Coke seemed like a good idea at the time. Doesn't matter. I don't do it anymore. So we go to the bathroom to grab this cocaine out of the trash can. He grabs it out of the trash can. We walk back to Chad. Chad's looking like he's calming down. He's like, oh, you guys are cool after all. Hands him back to him, right? Chad then looks to my friend and goes, okay, so why don't you go throw this away for me? Hands it to him. My friend walks to the middle of the bar, to the one trash can surrounded by everyone, and throws this bag away. We all watch it happen in real time. We're just like, what? Again, we just went through this. We literally just went through this. So then we have to walk to the middle of the trash can. I have these girls. I'm like, just form a perimeter. And we're all forming a perimeter. We're looking with our phones. And this is in 2006. So iPhones are not readily available. We have Motorola Razrs, and we have like 4 of them. And we've created a super flashlight out of the phones. We're looking for the blow in the middle of the bar. And we found it. And Chad did not hand us the bag again. That's a true story.
And kids, don't do drugs.
Don't do them. It's stupid.
Yeah, I only have one cocaine story, and it involves me not doing cocaine because I was actually, this just shows the overall super naiveness of me. So early 2000s, I was friends with this hair and makeup dude.
Yeah.
On movies back when Los Colinas Studios was actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
And he invited me to be his +1 to a movie premiere.
Okay.
It was a really cool experience, red carpet, all that stuff. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And then he's like, hey, you want to do a bump in the bathroom?
Yeah, it's always
and I have no clue
bump, and it's on a key, right?
But I have no clue what that means because I'm super naive and young and whatever. And then I'm like, oh, it's cocaine. No, I'm good, man. So I actually turned it down.
Well,
and then later I learned out he was only friends with me because he thought I was bi-curious. And that's that. It was kind of sad. I was cool. He was cool, but he was like, "Oh, you don't."
Oh, he wanted a relation. He wanted a relationship.
He wanted a piece of. Well, I was in the Marines at the time.
A piece of the pie.
So I was fit and young, impressionable. I remember him telling me one time,
"You're so beautiful."
No. He's like, no. Literally, this is the line he used on me. He's like, "Look, I mean, there's no such thing. You're you. I'm me. God is God, and we're all one together. Just try it."
That probably would have worked on me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm like, you know what? You're right.
He's looking in my eyes.
God is God. There's only one of us. Let's just go for it.
But it was like, is he? In my head, I'm like, is he quoting a Beatles song? Like,
because it was too good.
Because it was cuckoo, cuckoo. You know, like cuckoo.
First off, been with dozens of men.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. No, but. Wait, I was on a thing. We were talking
about cocaine bear, and then we're trying to get to The Last of Us or The Whale.
I've had lots of cocaine stories, but there was a whole period where I was making a ton of bad decisions. But the last time that I did was probably a year before I got married, and I was with. I looked similar to that. Yeah.
Is that you?
That's me. Look how sexy I am.
Is that you?
God, I'm handsome. I'm handsome is what it comes to. Yeah, that's me.
Did you get a nose job?
No, but I will say my nose has changed over the years.
There's not you. Zoom that.
That's me. I have
Can we zoom it in more?
I have a nose ring.
Like in the bottom right. If you
look at look at the jawline.
Like I see the chin down, yes.
Look at me, picture me without a beard. Look how handsome I am. Anyway.
No, it looks like you had a nose job.
No. But I do have a weird...
I'm not a fit... Oh.
What is that? Oh. I've never seen that video.
Oh. Ethnicities. Latino, Hispanic.
What? Can we blow up that picture? Can you click on the picture and blow it up? Oh, yeah.
That one looks like it's had some work.
That is... Something's not right there.
That's literally...
No, I have a funny story about that headshot.
That picture is currently being used on Grindr for someone.
So that picture was taken by Phoenix Taylor, and that picture looks nothing like that. And Phoenix Taylor made it look like that because he said...
Sohail, you should do your face like this. And then cut to you as well, and we'll just go a super
Backstage
cut.
Isn't a good representation of who I am. Actually, I had no idea that even existed. What other pictures are on there?
No, you gotta do the face.
I can't do that face. It's not even possible. Actually, I could do that face. But there's been a lot of softening on my cheeks, as you can see.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like he got stung by bees.
It was during the time when Photoshop and getting headshots done by bougie photographers was kind of a cool thing. And there was a style of like very over contrasty photos. But yeah, who is that rascal? Anyway, all that to say, I was making bad decisions with my nose. And there's no connect.
Up the nose?
Up the nose.
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
But the last time I did, it was about a year before I met Allie, I think. I was so freaked out that I was lying naked in my friend's kitchen on the ground because the linoleum was calming my heartbeat. And that's when I decided, you know what? I don't think my parents have been through enough. I think I'm done.
So that earlier picture where you're on coke, because and the reason I asked this in all seriousness, I remember being in college and going to a longtime friend and be like, I said, "What's wrong with your nose?" And he goes, and very earnestly, Ryan, it's called coke nose. I was like, because one of his nostrils was like, blown up, like inflamed. Oh. Touche. Tucci.
But and keep in mind, this is I've been married now for what?
You found
years?
Jesus. You
13
have
years.
kids.
13 years. So 13 years, and yeah. No.
Well, you look good.
Well,
So let's talk about the whale.
I can't look at that picture anymore, so we gotta put something else.
Can we
on.
blow that
That's
up
the
and make that a
worst.
poster in the green room?
I hate that picture. That's the worst picture.
It's so amazing.
Go to my now. That one is okay, but I definitely look like I'm going through something. So the whale.
I won't. I'm not gonna go.
I'm gonna say a cuss
I'm not gonna
word.
see it.
Shit. I mean, it's
A shit show
no.
or just
It's so
depressing.
yeah.
Is it? Because I never saw this other one either. Is it the white man's version of Precious?
No. I think, and I have to be careful because I think Precious is. I mean that.
I heard that was a devastating story.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that story to compare it, so I can't say.
You didn't see
I
it?
didn't even see it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will say
I didn't see it either, but
this movie. The reason why The Whale is so good is because somebody like this. Like someone like this. Everyone knows someone like this.
and the character
man.
is just like.
Oh, and he's the sweetest. He's the nicest person.
Yeah, break it down so I don't have to watch it.
So here's what happens. He went through a tragedy. He's a creative writing teacher for a college course, and he does his Zoom classes, but he keeps his camera off, and he talks to his students, and he's a brilliant writer, and he's got so much compassion, and he's such a sweet person in the movie. You're just like, man, this guy's great. He was married and had a child with this woman, and then he came out probably 5 years into their relationship and was like, hey, this is who I am. And he's with a man.
Oh, okay.
And they have a relationship and they're very happy. But then that guy dies, like unexpectedly. So then Brendan Fraser's character goes through just a total depression where he's just eating everything inside or whatever. And he gives himself congestive heart failure. So he's dying the whole movie and he knows he's going to die. And it's happening, and he doesn't really care because he hates life. But then his daughter tries to reconnect because she needs his help. And so it's kind of a redemption.
Well, in the story, excuse me, like how long ago was it that his
lover died?
His lover died. Years, days.
It's been years.
So it's there's like a ramp up. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, it's been years, and they don't necessarily. So the timeline makes it seem like his daughter, who's now graduating from high school, was like probably 4 when he left, and then that person was probably alive for like 5 years before they died. And so it seems like he's had like 5 or 6 years of grieving, like from the movie. I mean, that's what I got. Now, somebody who's seen it 100 times or watched it more than once, which I don't know if you could.
Right.
They're gonna correct me.
I haven't even seen the full trailer. Like just seeing
the trailer,
just seeing images from it, I'm like, ooh.
Dude, the trailer, I almost lose it every time we watch the trailer because he's so earnest and sincere, and he plays this part of just like he's very ashamed of himself, and he hates that he's done this to himself, but he's very sad, and he knows why he's sad, and he's very analytical and smart, and he can figure out where all this is coming from, but he's just so sad he just doesn't know how to.
So, because a lot of people were saying like it's very, because Brendan Fraser is Brendan Fraser, and he's been kind of like out of Hollywood for the last 20 years. Like he had this huge ramp up with The Mummy, and he was like going to be the next heartthrob, but then I don't know what happened in his career, but it just like went nowhere.
I think when he was molested by that man, it really.
As an adult, as a child, or
he was molested. So he was the big Brendan Fraser thing, which makes the whole story a little bit more a little bit sweeter if it all worked. If it worked, he just won the SAG award last night,
right?
So it's all pointing to he's probably going to win the Oscar. I really hope he does. I
mean,
if
just
I
seeing the standing ovations at all the film festivals.
I mean, when I tell you, so you know how I told you, so we talked last time I told you on Avatar 2. Maybe I'm just getting sentimental in my old age, but Avatar 2, I cried because it felt very personal to me. This movie didn't feel personal to me, but I felt like I knew somebody like his character, and I felt I could see so easily. It's just so beautifully done, dude. You weep at the end because you're just oh my gosh. So have you seen it?
No, but my brother loved it. I actually really want to see it.
Oh,
but I heard Aronofsky wrote it like it was his passion project. Wrote it like decades ago and was just waiting for the right actor. And
so when I tell you that
Brendan Fraser,
when I tell you that it's probably one of the most devastatingly good. I mean, it's like it's so good that it's almost it's going to be talked about for years. Like they're going to make fun of it and parody it for years because it's so good. It's like Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs, where it's like.
But did anybody know that he had it in him, or is it just one of those?
I don't know. What do you think, Sohail? Like, because you've heard a little bit about this too, like, is the general consensus, especially since you were just talking about how he was looking for the right actor, was the general consensus that Brendan Fraser's an amazing actor, or we just never knew, or
I think both of those. I think people want him to be an amazing actor and saw something there, and then obviously Aronofsky saw it. So,
or maybe it's the time away from the industry. And again, I don't know if he's
there was the whole underdog thing, or like
maybe because Daniel Day-Lewis retired from acting for like 9 years and then came back and won 2 Academy Awards. Maybe there's something to getting away from it for a minute and go look, because like I know, like if I look back at my music stuff now, and just with an older ear and older brain, I look back at some of the music stuff going. And it's one of those.
So the question I have though, sorry to interrupt. Sorry, you were got a train of thought.
No.
Well, I was gonna. Does he have a little hair loss, or is that the
Brendan
character?
Fraser?
Yeah.
I think he had hair loss, and I think he got hair plugs.
Okay. Do we think after the success of this, he goes, okay, Bruce Willis is now out, so there's an opening for a little bit older, action star guy. Does he go, you know what, I'm going to get in shape. I got my awards. I got my Academy Award. And there's an opening for an older... Because Liam Neeson can't do it for too much longer.
I could very much see him joining...
the elder elite for action
I could
stars.
see him do... Here's the deal. He's going to do what... in my opinion, I don't know what he's going to do, right? But as a fan of it all, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I was him... I would do what I don't want him to do, which is what Jonah Hill did. So you remember how Jonah Hill was the real funny guy in all the comedies, and then he got nominated for the Academy Award for Moneyball, and then all of a sudden he lost all this weight and became a very serious actor, and then he got an Academy Award nomination for Wall Street, or Wolf of Wall Street, and so then he became this artsy director guy who's... Now he's only doing... So the reason I love Jonah Hill is because he did dick and fart jokes with his friend in the Superbad, right? I think his rants are hysterical.
I've never been a big Jonah Hill fan.
I loved him in Wolf of Wall Street. He's kind of like Vince Vaughn. They have one thing where it's just this rambling character that they play. But like, he is brilliant filmmaker, brilliant creator. He's doing big boy stuff. He did a documentary called Stoots that's like amazing.
Right.
He's been doing music videos. He did this other rollerblading movie.
I think the problem I have with Jonah Hill is like, I I don't know him personally, obviously, but like it seems like he takes himself way too seriously. Also, he in his family in the business, like he got like the
whole
easy,
family is in the business.
Like literally was just like speed laned. Everything.
I met him in California because he did a workshop where he came and spoke at the school, and he was a total. I mean, as much of a asshat as you can be as a person, he was. He is probably bottom of the barrel as far as what I would consider, as far as being polite
like a good person.
And kind.
He
was just
person.
Total diva.
Because I could totally see that from him.
He was a total, I mean, it was total scotch. It was just like, this guy sucks. Like, he doesn't even want to be here.
Have you seen This Is the End?
I thought he was great in that.
His character is like that.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen This Is the End, but he was.
Oh, you'd love that. Don.
He was a scotch. Like, but then I saw on social media he started posting some things to where, I mean, so he's been seeing this guy Stutz, who's a psychologist, he just did a documentary on. He's been doing some things that are very deep thought-provoking, inner. Like, I don't think the Jonah Hill that is today. I don't. Just like nobody is the way they were. I don't think he's anything like that guy that I saw.
I don't know. I think
I would like him a lot.
You're an asshole. I don't think people change that much.
Well, his whole thing, to be fair, it was at the it's for the film school. He doesn't want to be there. He's got to be there. He's got a bunch of first-year students that are freaking out over him, and then he's got other dudes that are asking him questions about craft. You know what I mean? And so, like, I don't know. I could see where he could get annoyed because I've been annoyed for things, but he just seems so pettily annoyed by all of it. I will say, recently, and some of the stuff he's done, it seems like he's really grown up as an actor and as a person.
Yeah, but have you seen that one movie he just did with Eddie Wilson? Not Eddie Wilson.
I heard it was trash.
The Eddie Murphy.
I heard it wasn't funny.
I saw
which made
trailers
me sad.
for it. It was just like, it looked like it had so much potential, but it was just like every racism trope that you could throw into a movie, and I think I saw a
really odd movie.
Did you see it?
Yeah,
and I heard it made the kiss at the end.
But I heard it made Eddie Murphy look just like like an asshole the whole time. Really? Like, I don't know. I didn't. I guess I would have been interested to see an Eddie Murphy movie. But, like, once I saw that it was just like that, I was like, I'm out.
Oh, yeah. Like, my whole thing is I don't know Jonah Hill at all. All I know is from that one experience. And he seemed, at that time, it was like, this guy's the worst.
But that's why first impressions are so important. Like, you always have to, you never know who's watching. You never know who's going to be there. And if you're a celebrity to people or in general, you don't know. Like, because, like, if you meet somebody, like when you were doing your band stuff, like, if you met somebody who's a huge fan and you were super cool, that could impact them the rest of their life.
Right.
You know?
He had an opportunity.
Outfit.
He's just going, to me, he's like, he's trying hard.
He had an opportunity to be really cool for these students. And it was just like, he made everyone know I am inconvenienced to be here.
That's shitty.
But having said that, I've seen some interviews with him and I've seen some other stuff. And he seems like he's really grown up and he's just a different person. He seems very happy and very like.
Another thing that bothers me is like.
I'm a fan. Don't get me wrong.
If you're an actor, like, I don't understand actors who get full body tattoos. And the reason being is as an actor, your body is your workplace. Your body's your craft. Like, I have no problem with people getting tattoos.
I think
but like, if you're an actor,
I think it's
like,
after you make enough money.
You don't care.
I was about to say, Ben Affleck has the worst tattoos ever.
What is that?
It's like a giant bird.
What the shit,
a
Ben?
Phoenix. It's a giant phoenix.
No. Well, Ed Sheeran's not on camera. He's a musician.
Yeah, it's a giant phoenix.
But like, what? And J-Lo's into that? That's God
I will
awful.
say Ben Affleck has given all of us some of the greatest meme photos of all time.
What is the one? Go to the
one where
bottom
he's
left.
smoking.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, that one's great. But the one where he's smoking and he just looks hacked off at everyone is the funniest. And I don't want to. I
love Ben Affleck.
I want to make sure that
can we get that blown up as a
that
poster?
One. It's that first one in the blue sweater.
Yeah.
My thing. I want to make sure I go back and really say, I don't think Jonah Hill's an asshole anymore. I think at that day he was. I just don't want anybody to see us and be like, "Oh, that guy doesn't like Jonah Hill." I love Jonah Hill.
Like,
wait, why don't you want people to see this and think that
I don't want them to think that I don't like
Hill?
Jonah Hill because I don't want Jonah Hill to think. I actually support his sister's
Ryan.
his sister's jewelry brand. They have a thing called 10 10 jewelry. I bought 2 custom pieces.
Here's the thing: is like, I think until you actually have a one-on-one,
his other sister is great too. Beanie, sorry, Beanie Feldstein.
Until you have a conversation one-on-one with somebody, it's hard to judge somebody.
Yeah.
Like even with Jonah Hill, like I don't know him personally. I just know the characters he's had on shows, and I don't necessarily have a good taste for the characters yet. Like Wolf of Wall Street, I can appreciate it was a brilliant portrayal of that character, but that character is like, ugh. I'm sure one-on-one, if we actually had a true one-on-one, he may be a delightful human being. But how do you get one-on-one with somebody like that who, unless you're at their level, it's probably an inconvenience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, again, I don't know the person, so I can't really be like, oh. Like, I always thought it was funny. My dad hates Glenn Close. Like growing up is like he would never watch. I don't know.
Because that movie was a Fatal Attraction.
Maybe, but I was just like, it always annoyed me that some because they also don't like who's the Vietnam era lady who protests the war.
Oh, Jane Fonda.
They hate Jane Fonda too
because of her beliefs.
But I think it's more political. But I'm like, okay, these people going back to previous episodes of. You know, can actors be rehabilitated like Kevin Spacey? It's like, are you watching them act or are you watching their history?
Yeah.
You know, so like, okay, Glenn Close, you hate her, but she's brilliant in what she does. Jane Fonda, she has wacky political beliefs, but you know what? She's great on camera.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's the whole point of acting is you're not looking at them, you're looking at the character.
I will say, I think Jonah Hill's hostings of Saturday Night Live have been probably my favorite episodes of the last. Like, dude, he is absolutely killer on Saturday Night Live. Like, he's so funny.
Who is Adam Sandler's redheaded stepchild that's always in the You Can Do It? Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider.
I saw an interview with Rob Schneider where he was saying, like, in his opinion, the day that SNL died. You know what it is? He said, in his opinion, and he loves SNL, and in this interview he said. He hates saying it because he doesn't want to talk shit about his old workplace. He loves that place. But after Trump won and Kate McKinnon does the Hallelujah piano piece
yeah.
and made no joke about it, and they just were trying to be so earnest about it, he's like, they're done.
Yeah.
Like, make a joke of it. Don't, oh my God, the world's ending.
And she was crying and stuff.
Yeah, it's just like horribly inappropriate. It's so stupid.
I remember thinking that was ridiculous. But, you know, I loved what... I think the host was Chappelle, and Chappelle said, "Give him a chance. Obama never made us a sandwich. I doubt it's going to be much different. He never called us on our birthday."
I think Chappelle later has regretted saying all that stuff, but I think at the time it was warranted. But he had some brilliant skits in that episode.
Oh yeah,
because it was the one where him and Rock were just like. Because everybody's like, oh, Hillary's going to win. They're like, just wait.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, oh, they're all racist? Yeah, that's what it is. You know, but anyway, it was great. But The Whale itself, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Brendan Fraser can do.
I think he's going to win. Here's what I think.
He has to win.
He's going to win the Academy Award. And I think his next project that he has lined up is Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, you know, that sounds like it's artsy-fartsy.
It's artsy-fartsy as hell, and it's with... Martin Scorsese, it's with Scorsese and DiCaprio.
Can you imagine if he does a Mummy 4? The Return.
If he does that, then this whole thing was a waste.
It'd be so funny.
Like, if he took the paycheck to do the Mummy, well, honestly, if he gets to a point where they're like, hey, we'll give you whatever to do Mummy, and he's able to do that, good for him.
Because I could see them doing like, hey, can you lose 100 pounds? Get in shape.
He looks ripped, dude. I
haven't seen him at all.
I think he put on a ton of weight for The Whale, and then I think as award season's gone on, he's like, "Well, I need to start." Because
I could totally see them doing what they did with Indiana Jones and Shia LaBeouf. Like, hey, you have a kid. Because Rachel Weisz still looks good.
He looks great. Like, he looked good last night.
I don't know.
On the SAG. I'm more excited about the guy winning for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I want that guy to win everything.
Isn't he from the Goonies or something?
No, Encino Man. And Encino Man and Goonies.
Okay.
But Dr. Jones, remember he was...
Because I think I saw, like, they were making it, like, his first movie was Encino Man or something.
Well, he did that with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
But no, he did...
he was Dr. Jones?
Yeah, that was him. And then he was in Goonies. Kind of plays the same character. Except in Goonies, he's an inventor. Same kind of character though, like.
And then he take like 40 years off or something.
I don't know what he did, but he learned kung fu and he kicked everybody's ass in that.
So
movie.
he's in that what is it called?
Everywhere, everything. Everywhere,
I keep
all
hearing
at once.
that's an amazing movie.
It hurts my
So
head,
good.
but it's really cool to watch, man. Like,
Why? Because it's just all over the place.
Like, it's just one. I've never been. I don't know how to explain it, man. I don't know how to explain it.
I want to. You know, the voice in the sky keeps saying it's so good to every movie that's listed, but when it comes to Marvel, I haven't seen it.
For what?
Like Sohail, he's seen all these niche
I know.
movies.
I'm so sick of Sohail right now. I don't even want to talk about.
Hey,
the
have you
fact
seen
that he
this
has
movie? That's I don't know. Everyone on the planet has seen. Nah, haven't seen it.
It's like, hey, did you guys watch like Water for Chocolate? No, we didn't. Did you see Spider-Man? No, I didn't. Don't make us weird for being the ones who saw Spider-Man.
Yeah. We watched the mainstream.
No, I actually, I think if anything, it just adds to the legend and mysterious. It adds to the allure of Sohail.
Of Sohail, my favorite thing about.
I mean, Sohail's that guy that I just assume he is more cultured and knows more and is way cooler than me every room we're in.
So I have on my Spotify playlist, I have like just hundreds and hundreds of random songs that you have a playlist. Let me just copy your entire playlist and add it to my main playlist.
Right.
Anyway, so there'll be like a random song on, so will come on and come in the room, and like seeing his face of approval for having like a niche, like artist. He's like, oh my god, headless daycare zombies. I just made that up, unless that's a real band. And he's just like, you're into them. I'm like, I don't know. Yes.
I do tell Allie when I make him laugh in the podcast, as I say, I wear it like a badge of honor because
he hasn't laughed yet.
He's just got.
Although no, we've heard a couple
of
chuckles.
Cool. He's got a lot of cool about him. So he's probably onto something. We probably shouldn't be watching the Marvel movies. Like, he's doing it right. We're the ones hey, did you watch Doctor Strange 7th?
Yeah.
This one, there's like 9 variants of.
You're like, did you take calculus in high school? No. Did you take bread making?
You won't watch The Whale then.
No. Like, again, it goes back to my point from either last episode, a couple episodes ago. Like, I want to watch stuff to escape. I don't want a huge weight of emotion bearing down on me when I watch something.
Yeah. Were you trying to be funny with the weight thing?
Actually, I wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Are you trying to be funny? No.
No. I'm just smiling because the way you said it, and then I realized it, and then I think you realized that I said it.
I didn't mean it like that. No, I mean, I'm serious. Like.
I get it. Like, my dad.
Because, like, this is a good segue to The Last of Us. So when Last of Us episode 3, I watched episode 1, episode 2, binged it, was great. And then I heard feedback from episode 3 that it was super heavy. Like, because it had this, but it was like Emmy Award winning.
Nick Offerman
The Nick Offerman episode where it's like, like literally this huge 20-year arc of if you watch Ben Shapiro, a gay storyline with no zombies, what the hell are they doing? And like, to me, it was I was like, oh, that sounds heavy. I don't want to get into it. But then yesterday I was like, you know what? I'll watch these again. And I got into it. And it was a beautiful episode. It
was so good.
It was so good. Who gives a shit that there was no zombies in the thing?
I didn't need zombies. Episode. I just needed I needed a big budget project with no agenda feel.
That right there is why there's so many shows that I like versus don't like.
Don't like. Because my whole thing is like, I don't care. I like it. It's fine. Like there's like Ben Shapiro is. Here's the reason. First off, I've talked about this before.
Yeah, get ready for clipping because and comments because people love us talking about good old
Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro is the kind of guy, in my opinion.
You gotta talk faster if you're gonna talk about Ben.
Ben Shapiro is the kind of guy that talk. Yeah, that his life. It's like it was written by Aaron Sorkin. Everything he says, just really quick.
Like, yeah,
he's the kind of guy that lived above your apartment and was always coming down and asking you to keep it down. You know what I mean? But also playing Fish records really loud. It just there's something about Ben Shapiro. It's not so much that he's. That he and I have such a difference of thought process because we're not that far off.
I don't think you do. I think you and him and me are fairly lockstep. with a lot of
it's
things.
It's his tone, man. And I've said it 100 times.
Yes.
It's his tone. It's such a snarky.
We should do a weekly segment of Ben Shapiro's tone.
It's snarky and
this
crappy.
Week in Ben Shapiro watch.
But he didn't like it because it depicts a gay relationship. And he is too insecure with himself to be able to watch it comfortably.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
Which is
the
absurd.
Reason it's absurd.
There's nothing there was nothing in that show, in that episode, that was like too far, too much. Like, are there stuff that's happening around the country that's like not safe for kids? Yeah. Is this not safe for kids? Probably the fact that there's being, people getting blown up and shot and violence.
Well, it's got an age rating on it for a reason.
But the love story aspect I thought was beautifully done.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I cried. If anything, people, I have friends.
I did like the end where the guy's like, you already put the pills in the bottle, didn't you? He's like, yep.
I have friends that...
He's like, that's the most romantic thing ever.
They were horrified, right?
With what? Last of Us?
Yeah, and they won't support Nick. These are guys that have been trying to get me to watch that show that I haven't even watched. The one that he's known for, where he has the mustache and the hair.
Parks and Rec?
I did that backwards. He has the mustache and the hair. Parks and Rec. No, not that. Cocaine Bear? Like, no. I can't do it anymore. Like, no, it's like that guy.
The H one.
No. Mein Kampf.
Yeah.
So
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
So good.
Never seen it. But I have friends that love that show that have been trying to get me to watch for years. They're like, well, screw Nick Offerman, man, doing all that gay shit.
That's so stupid.
And I'm just like, what is wrong with you? If anything, what Nick Offerman has done is proven that not only is he as cool as you think he is, but he's also a better actor than anybody thought he was. And he's willing.
I mean, he's still just playing Nick Offerman,
and he's willing to be a storyline for everybody, not just for straight white Republicans.
But again, what you said a second ago about the I forgot the wording of it, but basically, he didn't have an agenda feel.
Yeah, it didn't.
Like I didn't feel. I didn't
genuine and sweet.
I felt like it felt like a genuine sweet story, because that's how, like, going back to Top Gun Maverick. I think the reason it was so successful is the only agenda in that movie is like pro-America. Like there was diversity in the cast, but nobody was like, oh, diversity, know. And it's like, so with that episode, Last of Us, it's like it again. It didn't feel like the agenda feel, Well, and I love that, because that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, wait, Nick Offerman's in The Last of Us?
In one episode.
And it's
have you not seen this?
It's the only episode you need to watch.
Like, literally, you could just watch.
You could watch this episode and it's it. It stands alone. All you have to know is there's been a zombie apocalypse.
It's like its own little
movie.
It's like a little movie, because what it is, it's like it shows a full 20-year story arc of like the beginning of the series for him specifically, and then meeting this guy, and then falling in love, and then having a relationship. And then that guy, they both, anyway, the end of their relationship.
Okay, yeah, I thought you were talking about something else. I thought I missed it.
No, it's a zombie.
No.
I thought
it was a zombie movie.
It is.
It is a zombie movie,
series.
but the problem that straight white Republicans are having with it is that
there's no zombies in it. It's just gay dudes.
Yeah, there was a guy, Nick Offerman, who predominantly plays
Nick Offerman.
Nick Offerman, yeah, is
straight,
has a homosexual relationship with this guy, and it's their love story, and these guys can't handle that. And
what's funny,
it is all about their insecurity. Is what it is.
Yeah,
it's all about. And I hate to even say toxic masculinity, because I think that's such a dumb thing.
Yeah.
But it is this thought of, well, I'm not gay, so.
Well, I think also what's brilliant about what I love most about the Last of Us episode is, because we've said it's Nick Offerman playing Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman typically plays these ultra masculine, good with their hands, woodworking, creative, like gruff, gritty type people. And that's who he played. He just happens to be gay. And that's, to me, that's how these Hollywood characters should be portrayed. Like I was telling you, I was at that improv class on Wednesday, over the weekend. And this is, so I was going to say, Ryan's going woke. But this guy, we were talking about improv, and he's like, if I'm in a scene with somebody and somebody says I'm their lover, it's up to me at that point in time to decide, am I male or am I female? If I'm female, I'm going to act this way. If I'm male, I'm going to maybe act this way. And the way he acted was so like cookie cutter, early 2000s, like stereotypical gay guy. And I'm just like,
it's not the way it is.
That's not how it is, bro. Like, where are you? Like, because he was doing the whole, and I'm like, that's not how gay people are. So at least in my world of gayness,
right?
But so I super appreciated this episode of Nick Offerman, while albeit being Nick Offerman, he just being gay, and even his lover, it wasn't overt that he was gay to begin with either. It was only until they shared that moment with the piano scene and the music.
Yeah.
And they were like, and then they're vibing.
My whole thing is, it just felt so sincere and sweet, and it was a beautiful story. And it's so, if you don't have to watch the whole series, if you just watch that one episode, man,
I'll watch it. I love Nick Offerman.
You're gonna be better for it. It was really
also
really good.
Talk about the difference between men and women when it comes to pickup lines. Mm-hmm. Like the guy's pickup line is "Go take a shower."
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, you know what they're doing.
So, did
the rest of the series?
Did you watch last night's episode?
No, I think I'm caught up. I think I'm one, maybe two episodes behind.
It's pretty. I mean, I played the game because I'm a nerd, so I know how that all. I know how it all shakes out. No. I would tell you this: I have the biggest man crush on Pedro Pascal,
dude.
That guy's so cool. Like everything he's in, he's so cool, man. He adds. All he does is add. He elevates everything he's in.
I like everything he's in so far. It is kind of funny though, because there's a girl I'm crushing on who does know I exist, but there's zero chance, and she's obsessed with Pedro Pascal. So now I feel like, okay, should I get a tan and start speaking with a Spanish accent?
I feel like his Spanish accent is very, he doesn't. Unless unless I'm about to say the dumbest thing that any human has ever said, which is unless he's just acting. But I think when I watched him host Saturday Night Live, he doesn't really have a very thick, unless he he plays a character in Game of Thrones that has that real Spanish accent. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's how he really talks. I think he's just doing it for the show.
I think most of his characters, he's been more
but I think
Mandalorian is straight up American. Like Narcos, he was straight up American. Everything I've seen.
He's mildly Hispanic in other things.
Yeah, but I think
you.
Yeah, he's mildly like me. We're very alike, actually, he and I.
It's
similar body types.
Mildly Hispanic.
Hispanic.
That could be a fun band name.
That would be kind of like in every song. There's just one part with a trumpet, or one part with an accordion, or one of those real cool deep guitars that are big. God, that Antonio Banderas plays.
No, that'd be just racism all around.
In that movie.
Oh, and Departed, Desperado.
Desperado.
Such a good movie.
I would have liked to have seen a Johnny Depp spinoff where he was blind and a gunfighter.
Yeah. Or a prequel to that.
Or a prequel where he was doing his CIA stuff.
Yeah. What else is it? So we talked about The Last of Us. We talked about Whale. We talked about
Cocaine Bear.
We talked about Ant-Man. We talked about going
into
the butthole and Bill.
You know how you're excited about how you and I both saw between the two of us we saw Top Gun 15 times.
Sure.
I think.
I think more than that, but go ahead.
I mean, so were you excited to see that it landed a Best Picture nomination?
I don't pay attention to award season.
Okay, so can we pull up the Academy Award nominations list?
They should though, because it single-handedly saved Hollywood during COVID.
That's what Spielberg told Cruise.
Did he really?
He literally said that to him.
Saved Hollywood?
He said you saved everything. So the nominees for Best Picture are, let's see how many. Okay, let's play a game called Have You Seen It?
Have we heard of it?
Yeah, have we heard of it or seen it?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Top Gun Maverick. Yep. Yes.
Seen it.
Women Talking.
Never
What's
heard
that about? Everything Everywhere All at Once. I've
heard of it.
I saw it. The Banshees of Inisherin.
I think I've heard of it.
Inisherin. I've heard of it, and I've seen a scene on Instagram, but I have no idea what it's about.
Yeah, it's the guy who made In Bruges, I think.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. In Bruges is great.
I mean, come on.
Triangle of Sadness. Triangle, I should say. Nope. Didn't see it?
No, never heard of it.
Did you see The Fablemans?
Never heard of it. And that's a Steven Spielberg thing?
I haven't seen The Fablemans.
Fablemans is like
It's his story.
His story, yeah.
And
The
it's
Fablemans?
got, yeah, and it's got
Story of who? Steven Spielberg?
It's got Paul Dano in it, and I like everything he's
I've
in.
never heard of that.
All Quiet on the Western.
Can you show me the poster of that?
All Quiet on the Western Front.
That I never saw it. That was on Netflix.
It's on Netflix, and I haven't even seen it.
Saw
still.
it yesterday, kind of.
Is it good?
Okay?
Yeah.
You're saying is it good?
Pretty.
I'm going straight for is it okay?
Is it good or is it okay?
Well-made movie. It was good.
Okay.
Gory, war movie. It's not my thing, but.
So The Fablemans. It doesn't really give away much with the poster.
All right. Sorry about that. That was a waste of time.
Yeah, God. Avatar.
Beautiful movie.
It was wonderful. It won't win. Elvis.
I think it was honestly, out of everything that I've seen on here, because Tar, I don't know how you say that. Tar
is about some monster it's like a
so the
biopic.
three blockbusters are
Great
Elvis,
movie.
Avatar, and Top Gun. I think from a movie production, I think Top Gun is the best movie on that list. As far as the most well-made movie, I think Elvis wins because I think anything that Baz Luhrmann touches is going to be insane, creative, circusy, all the things.
I love Baz Luhrmann. I think he's
great.
I liked Australia. No one else liked Australia. I liked it a lot.
Because fucking,
So
excuse my language, because Hugh Jackman is like,
watch it. No.
he's got like
Shredded?
20-pack.
Oh yeah, Hugh Jackman's
his vein to his penis is bigger than my penis.
Well, now we've taken it way. I have a
cut that. Yeah.
So Hugh Jackman. So I love Baz Luhrmann. Okay, Tar. I didn't see it, but I've heard that
that might have a chance. I think.
What do you think wins?
Okay, so go back out for a minute so I can see the whole list. Let me tell you my little quick rundown. So I think Top Gun is never going to win. I think Top Gun gets nominated because it was an event. It was kind of like when Johnny Depp got nominated for playing Jack Sparrow. He was never going to win. Right. They nominated him because universal acclaim. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, I love him." So I don't think Top Gun wins.
Yeah,
I don't think Top Gun wins. Women talking. The fact that Frances McDormand is involved makes me nervous, and I'll tell you why. Because the chick is like, she's like what stink bait is to catfish. Frances McDormand is to Academy Awards. She wins a lot. She's won 3, I think, for acting, which is insane. That puts her in a category with just a few people. Mm-hmm. So women talking, the fact that she's involved, I think that immediately gives it a chance. I don't even know what it's about. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Just the same way Baz Luhrmann made Elvis crazy, that movie is equally crazy, if not more. And I've never seen anything like it. I think it could win. Banshees of Inisherin, I think it could. It's possible because it's one of those art house sleepers, right? That always has a chance. Avatar, same thing as Top Gun. I don't think it has a shot. Tar, the only thing I think it has negative going for it is the subject matter is kind of hated by a lot of people. I think that's the only negative. It'd be like making a movie, maybe not about Hitler, but it'd be like making.
What do you think wins?
What do I think wins? If you had to ask me,
and why? I have an opinion.
I have 2 thoughts, but I have to have one. Just one.
Just one.
If you ask me right now, what wins?
What wins, and what do you think should have won?
Okay, I think Everything, Everywhere, All at Once wins.
Why?
Because it's the Daniels, and they're young, and they made it, and I think that Hollywood wants to inject youth and excitement into the Academy Awards.
And then the other, what do you think should have won?
Probably Elvis, because that seems like the hardest movie ever to make. Mm-hmm. Because it's not like a movie vaguely about Elvis. It's a movie about Elvis, a guy who looks a certain way, and whoever's playing him has to look...
Bring Tyler back with you.
Whoever's playing him has to look
right.
like him, has to sing like him, has to be like him. It has to be perfect because it's Elvis. Like, it's like making a movie about I don't even know who else you could compare it to.
So I agree with you that
from an artistic standpoint,
I think Everything All at Once, whatever it's called, I think it wins as well, but not for the reasons you think it's going to win.
Okay.
I think it wins. One, I haven't seen it, but everyone that's ever talked about it talks about how insanely brilliant that movie is.
Mm-hmm.
The cultural note, the reason I think it wins is the Stop Asian Hate thing.
Yeah.
Because I think we've had, Oscar's so white, and I hate sounding like this, but I think there's always tones of that. Whereas like, let's support the black people and by tokenizing whatever. And now it's like, let's throw the Asians a bone, which is absurd and insane because just let them, let it win on its own merit, that type of thing. Now, what do I think should win? Like, again, I'm not a voter. I don't know what they vote on. I don't know the parameters. But if I was like, in reality, what should win is Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Because
Top Gun should win all because it saved the movie.
Well, to me, it's kind of like Deion Sanders and his thought process on like Hall of Famers. He's like, there should be a Hall of Fame within the Hall of Fame. Because if you're just going to let everybody in, you've got real people that make real change for the industry as a whole, as the game as a whole. Those are Hall of Famers. So for me, out of all those movies, what's going to have the longest...
Top Gun.
Like
100%. Or Avatar.
I don't know about culture, not Avatar. But like Elvis was great, but it's forgotten. All's Quiet on the Western Front, I'm sure it was great, but it's on Netflix and forgotten. Every movie on here is going to be forgotten. The only one that's going to be a classic and watched in 20 years is probably Top Gun.
I mean, here's the deal. I've watched Top Gun, 3 times this month.
But do you agree with that assessment, though?
Oh yeah, I mean,
like
you're
even
right.
on the reasoning.
I think your reasoning for Everything All at Once is better than mine. I think because I didn't even think about that, but yeah, because I think that guy's going to win Best Supporting Actor. Mm-hmm. I think she wins Best Actress, and I think Everything Everywhere All at Once takes Best Picture.
Right.
I mean, I would love if Top Gun won. I would freak out like I won because I just loved that movie so much. I would lose it. I would be so excited.
I think,
but I don't think it will.
I think if they were smart, the Academy Awards,
they would let it win.
They would leak that it's winning and get people to, because I'm sure the viewership of that has dropped significantly over the years. But if people thought that Top Gun was going to run away with all the awards, I think people would tune in just to watch it. Because I also think that as much as people like to think Tom Cruise has gotten a lot of hate because ever since
he's a movie star.
Ever since he did the jumping on the
couch,
Oprah couch. I love Katie Holmes. Scientology, I'm a wacko. You know what? I think people overlook that. I still think that he's the only real movie star we have anymore. Like, yeah, Brad Pitt, but I mean, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I mean, like. I think that's funny that you put it that way because, like, I think there's two. I think there's 2 movie stars. There's Tom Cruise and there's Leo DiCaprio. I think those are the 2. You know what I mean? I don't know either. Oh well.
He already quit.
He's gone. He's fired.
He's gone.
Okay. Well, let's look at Best Actor real quick. So those are Best Picture. Let's look at Best Actor. Because we may have seen more of these performances. But here's the thing about the Academy Awards, man. If it's a fine line, like didn't they add a thing called like Best Fan or Fan Favorite or something?
Well, have we talked about the British Music Awards on camera?
Yeah, not on camera. We've talked off camera about it, and I feel like it's a very risky subject to talk about on camera. Much like my initial opinions of Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear, yeah.
Let's go to Best Actor.
Let's stick to the Academy Awards.
Let's go Best Lead, or Best Director, Best Actor. Let's go through that real quick. So historically, whatever wins Best Picture usually wins Best Director. So the fact that Everything All at Once is nominated for Best Director for the Daniels, there's no other,
Toppy Guns.
makes me feel pretty. Because Spielberg's not going to win again, especially not on a movie about him.
No, And again, I think
Martin might win.
Everything I've heard about Everything Everywhere All at Once has been it's a groundbreaking film. So I think that they'll get the best director.
Okay, so what about best actor? We got Austin Butler for Elvis.
Brendan Fraser.
Colin Farrell.
I think you skip it. Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else is going to win.
Austin Butler's too young, and he was in too many Disney things.
They'll justify it by saying he's young enough to win one later on.
But
the reality is Austin Butler is done after this.
Do you know the whole lore? He actually is done. Do you know he's
done?
He still talks in that Elvis voice.
Yeah, he talks in the Elvis voice.
It's so funny.
He can't.
He'll get over it.
And he looks just like him now. He is done. There is nothing else he can do except be cast as Johnny Flame in the Marvel comic universe.
No, I think he'll bounce back.
No, you heard it here first, folks.
But then again, I've never thought. I think that's the best thing he's ever done. Because
it's the best thing he'll ever do.
Because everything else he's been in has been so MTV.
Everyone needs to actually
goofy.
be very worried about Austin Butler because here's the deal: he has peaked. He will never do anything bigger than this. There is no role he will ever do that is bigger than this.
He's a good-looking dude. He's super talented. He'll find another project.
You know who's good-looking? Mickey Rourke was good-looking once.
Yeah, but he also was cocaine.
He was.
Yeah,
he was good-looking
all
once.
into the cocaine.
Okay, so
I think Brendan Fraser
wins. That's who we want.
I think there's no way he doesn't win.
And even though you have, so that's who I want to win. And I've seen.
I think there's no way.
Is that who is? Even though you haven't seen it, is that who you want to win? Just because of everything else he's done?
I don't care.
You don't care. Okay.
But I think there's no way. I don't think we live in a world where he doesn't win.
Okay, Cate Blanchett for Best Actress.
She was in Tar.
She played.
That might be it.
Yeah, that's probably it. Do Ana de Armas for the Marilyn Monroe movie. Michelle Williams gets nominated a lot. I don't know if she's ever won.
I think.
Oh, it's going to be Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah,
I think it's Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she did great. You know, I think she'll win. I think she's fine.
I didn't think she was that good an actress in the Marilyn Monroe movie. I'm not going to lie. I did not think she was that great an actress. However, I thought she looked exactly like Marilyn Monroe.
I'm just laughing because, hey, let's get the new videographer in to kind of film the recap as we end. And he goes without the camera.
Well,
hopefully he won't ever see this.
Best supporting actor,
Don't tell him so.
We got Brendan Gleeson. Who else we got? Judd Hirsch. Judd Hirsch from Taxi?
Scroll up
a little bit. Judd Hirsch, Barry Coughlin. It's Everything All at Once.
Everything. Yeah. I think they sweep.
How many do you think? So I now and say Everything All at Once wins 5 Academy Awards.
Wait, best supporting. I think they give it to Angela Bassett.
I don't think so. I think it goes Jamie Lee Curtis, which I know that's again Everything All at Once.
She's in that too.
She won the SAG, so
yeah, then she'll get
typically
it.
The SAG dictates, but Angie Bassett won the
best adapted screenplay. I think All Quiet in the Western Front. I think they get a nod. And again, I haven't seen any of this.
Glass Onion.
Never seen it.
Hell no.
I didn't see it. Top Gun might win because Top Gun needs to. Here's the deal.
No.
What is Tom Cruise nominated for? Is he? He's nominated for.
They're going to give him a lot.
No, he's nominated as a producer, right? For Top Gun.
Yeah.
So they're going to find a way to make Tom Cruise win an Academy Award somehow. Right. That's what makes me think.
Well, let's see.
That's what makes me think Top Gun.
You
will
missed
win.
the best picture talk. We both think
we think Everything All at Once.
Everything All at Once is going to win.
But we both want Top Gun.
But that's the only thing he's tangentially nominated for.
Yeah.
For producing it as best picture.
And everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When is
Do you know when this is? Oh.
No.
I don't know. I know that Jimmy Kimmel's hosting, so it's not going to be funny.
Oh, God.
And nobody's going to watch it.
And nobody's going to watch.
Well, anyways.
Because Will Smith's not going to be there this year.
Slapped.
Assaulted in front of millions of witnesses on TV. I would have sued. Oh, my God. I would have sued. I would have sued so hard. I would have been like, I'm suing you. I'm going to continue to sue you, and I'm going to sue you forever, Will Smith. I would write him notes every day saying, hey, just so you know, I'm suing you.
And by the way,
the
organization itself and the production company.
Everybody.
And everybody that's seen it.
Oh, I'd sue them all.
Joe Stevens, I know you watched it live. I'm suing you.
You're sued.
You tweeted about it, sued. You memed about it, sued.
I can't believe Adam Sandler has let Will Smith live this long. I think it's amazing that Adam Sandler hasn't put the hit on for slapping Chris Rock. You know Adam Sandler controls Hollywood, right? Like, he's actually the Don. He's in charge of everything.
Hey.
Why else do you think he makes these oh no. Why else do you think Adam Sandler makes these movies for Netflix that no
money
one...
he gets paid?
No.
Out your fucking mouth!
Ooh. Scary. Ooh. Still scary. Dude, when he said it, I thought it was all a joke until he said the F word.
I thought it was all a joke until I thought it was a joke up until like a day later.
Oh, I didn't think that. No, but Adam Sandler is in charge. He's got power, and I think that it's a miracle that Adam Sandler hasn't had Will Smith disappeared.
But has Will Smith done anything other than a show for Apple?
No. So
I
guess
maybe he's ChatGPT and he doesn't really exist.
Dude,
I think that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. So thank you
for
watching We Should Start a Podcast. If you like what you saw, please like, subscribe. If you hated it, comment why you hated it, and be really mean and creative because we like responding to these things.
Also, this show is not quite brought to you by Celivate, but if you want to buy some Celivate,
we would love to sell you some. Their link is in the bio, the
also
area.
Mr. Beast bars. We're not brought to you by them either.
We don't, but do you have some money that we could just have, man? Because you seem to be doing okay.
Yeah, you're doing much better than us.
Just give $50K.
Dude, if we get $1 from every viewer,
yeah,
we'd have like $17, which would be a lot.